Welcome everybody, day 3 of the Prada Cup Challenger Series. About 3 hours until racing. INEOS versus Prada first up. Then Prada versus the New York Yacht Club's American Magic. Will be leading at the end of the day. Well, probably INEOS, given they've got 3 in the bag already. Working at their guts out there. Looking forward to another day of action in beautiful Auckland. So lovely to have you joining us. My name's Nick Douglas for Adventures of a Sailor Girl, and this is the AC Chat Wrap. I wonder if I'll get sick of that before the end of the 36th America's Cup. Still a very long way to go, ladies and gentlemen, but so great to have you joining us. Wow. What a day. I'm so pumped. I'm so excited already. I'm just thinking about everything that can happen and everything that can still happen, because I was thinking about it today and I was talking about it with a few of my friends that are in Auckland, and it is still really a long way to go. And whoever does win the round robin Challenger Series goes straight through to the final for the Prada Cup. And then the two that come second and third still get to battle it out anyway to see who gets to face that winner. So at the end of the day, there's still a long time for these boats to develop. We're talking about this series going into, the next few weeks. And we saw how much INEOS Team UK could change in just 3 weeks over Christmas. So now that these boats are racing each other and collecting data and able to see what is and isn't working, they've still got a lot of changes that they can make within the specs of the rules. So that's the first thing we have to talk about. The second thing, all of your feedback, all of your comments. So great to have you chatting with me and really taking this on board. Yesterday, I was talking about that all-important grinder setup that we saw in the intro just then for INEOS Team UK, which I think is one of the key factors, having the individual grinders facing outwards as well, so they can look for breeze, find those pressure puffs that are hitting the water and making sure they can stay on the foils for longer in those lighter air conditions. Today, looking a bit breezier, but Duncan Adams was responsible for that little piece of genius that got me thinking about that. So thank you to Duncan for joining us. He wasn't able to comment in our debrief show live last night because he's in the UK and he crashed straight after racing. Fair enough. So what we have today, I had a little bit of a look at Predict Win this morning. I've been looking at it on my phone, and I often look at the tables on my phone, but have a look at this. Look how cool this is. When you go to Predict Wind on the desktop, they've got the racetracks already here. Look at this. And here's course A. This is the course that they will be using today, right out the front of Auckland. Just fantastic for all of the locals. You'll be able to watch the racing. But it's looking like you can see here the PWG and the PWE models. These are the models that Big Fella seems to be using. I have gained this intel from this very important photo. You can see here, he's got PWG on the left and PWE on the right yesterday. So I've done the same setup here. But we're going to be looking at course A. So I'll see if I can zoom in on that for you. And look how cool this is. We can go right up to where course A is. And this is the time of the start, guys. So this is 15:08, just before their start sequence at 15:10, 15:12. So you can see that west nor'wester effectively. So we'll probably see a top mark in this vicinity all the way down to here. So they're setting sort of 2 nautical mile legs, which is, just enough for these boats to be stretching their legs. And you can see that it's 15 knots. So back to a similar breeze range as we had on day 1. So hopefully a lot more interesting than yesterday. I hate saying that. I don't want to say it's not interesting all the time, but yesterday was a little tough on us all, I think. And hi to JB, Jonathan Bruin, who's in Bermuda. Lovely to have you joining us all the way from Bermuda there. So yeah, it's going to be another interesting day. And as I mentioned, we do have a long way to go. But what I'm wondering, we'll look at the schedule for today. Let's just get that schedule up. So for today, we have Rossa Prada Pirelli versus INEOS Team UK, then New York Yacht Club American Magic versus Rossa Prada Pirelli. They get to have their 2-race day today. You can see that each of these 3-day blocks, everyone has a day where they have to do 2 races. And what I'm wondering and what I'm remembering and what I'm sure Jimmy is remembering right now is this moment where he got absolutely smoked. And thank you, Carlo Berlenghi, for this beautiful photo. This moment here where Jimmy got beaten in the pre-start by Ben Ainslie. And that was the difference on day one. It really was the difference because we actually saw Rossa, Prada, Pirelli make gains out of the left-hand side of the racetrack when the right-hand side was favoured. So I do think INEOS are not necessarily faster, but they were definitely smarter on day one than Rossa, Prada, Pirelli. I'm really looking forward to that pre-start. It should be all on between one of the redheads and one of the most fiery in the business. So the scores, where are we at? After 2 days of racing, INEOS Team UK leads on 3. Rossa, Prada, Pirelli did get their win against New York Yacht Club American Magic yesterday. And American Magic are yet to get a score on the board. But as I was talking about the weather, something that's really important to remember is that Dean Barker is a local. Now, I know quite a few of you have been giving him a hard time. Hi, Christian von Trepke from Norway. Lovely to have you joining us. Mark Gillies, great to have you joining us too. And again, apologies. He had a little bit of a spoiler yesterday from me, so I'm sorry for that. And yes, it should be an exciting day. I will do better to not spoil your results today. So, as I was saying, the all-important racetrack for today, Dean Barker is a local. His local yacht club is from right about here. So he has spent most of his life sailing in this area. I do think he's an asset. And I know a lot of you guys remember 2013 at this time. And it must be really hard for you to not go back there. But you have to remember it's an entire team that's racing, not just one sailor. Everybody that is on these boats is an integral part. And that's why when Ben Ainslie's been doing so well, he's thanking his team. He's thanking not only those guys who are on the water, but those who've been working so hard behind the scenes. I have mentioned, and last night we spoke about it quite a bit, the Mercedes influence on INEOS Team UK and their development. So everyone in the back end is working hard on tiny little components, software, analysing their performance. And that's not just on INEOS Team UK, that's on every single team. And then, as we heard from Ben Ainslie on day one, then they go out, they do what they can with the tools, or as Giles Scott said, the platform that's beneath them. In the interviews yesterday, we heard Giles say that you really have to trust that platform that's beneath you when you're sailing these boats. So let's be nice to everyone online, guys, because it's not just about one person, though one person can make a massive difference. It is the entire team that we're looking at when we're talking about these boats, and just how hard these guys have to work and how they have to work together. And I think that's the biggest difference that we've been hearing on board in the sailing, is that relationship between Giles Scott and Sir Ben Ainslie as well. So you have to know, though, we've been hearing from INEOS when they've been in front, it's not being in front that reveals what a team is made of, it's when they're behind. And that's where INEOS has had their chance to show their rate of development from the America's Cup World Series. Now what we're going to see is racing today, and then a bit of a gap to next Friday. And then what will these teams do with that gap? How will they come back every single time? And we'll see that for the next few weeks, which is so exciting. And this is so good for sailing, because this is going to keep pushing our sport further and further and further forward. So I think that's just fantastic. Robin Philip Norton says, I wouldn't discount Dean Barker. You have it right. So thank you, Robin, for supporting me there. I mean, you have to know as a sailor too that you always work so hard, but sometimes things just go wrong. You know, maybe you just accidentally don't pick that shift, or maybe, like yesterday, some puff comes out of nowhere from above that some person gets next to you, and you just have to deal with that and get on and think about the next race, the next mark, the next start. It's all important. Stuart Minchin watching from New Caledonia. Welcome from the Pacific. Great to have you joining us. Duncan Adams, you may have just joined us. Thank you. Again, I just gave you a shout out before for your amazing grinding insights. It's looking like 12 to 16 knots. So I had it up on the screen just before. I'll bring it up for you. Again, this is on Predict Wind, the paid service I'm very lucky to have access to, but they have all the racetracks here. So you can see here This is at race time, 10 to 15 knots. And then if we go to the next start, I think I can go to that, which is at 15:45, is it? So around here, just gets darker. So increasing breeze from that west-northwest direction. And I think foiling all the time. Yay! This should be much more fun, and much more fun in the pre-starts as well. So expect a big day from Jimmy and Frank. My tip today, yeah, Dolly, I think we will see a little bit from those guys today. I did mention I'm really excited for that pre-start. That's definitely my pick for today. So enjoy the racing. I will be as well. Wherever you're watching, if you head to www.sailorgirlhq.com, there is a how to watch document there. You may not have caught it up. For those who are watching on YouTube, you lucky ducks, all the embed codes are there, so you can just find the links there. I'll be live with this preview show every day, and it's sounding like we might have some surprises for you for the preview show. The debrief show from next week, we'll have some amazing guests joining us, but I'll be with you again this afternoon to wrap up the third day of racing as we get ready for those amazing guests. I don't really have too much else to say except keep the comments coming. Yes, should be a great day of racing today. Agreed. I've been known to throw chocolates at the breeze to entice it to be calm, says Mark Gillies. I know I probably owe you some chocolates too, so that's good. Now keep watching, keep commenting. That's what helps me to keep doing what I'm doing, guys, because, you know, sailing journalism, it pays a lot, and it paid so much in 2020. Oh my gosh, I love my career. No, I do. I love you guys, but keep the comments coming, keep sharing, keep enjoying the racing, and I'll see you later on today.